Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. And welcome to Thunder Lightning Gaming. I'm Thunder.
And I'm Lightning.
And what you were just listening to
sorry.
was the soundtrack to Ratchet and Clank. Not the one we played, of course, but the original, which came out today, November 4th, on the PlayStation 2, 20 years ago.
Cool.
And welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
We are starting with our flagship podcast today.
We're going to talk about our weeks real quick, because I don't think too much happened in either of our weeks. I mean, stuff for the channel happened.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we're going to jump into some news.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, not nothing, but you're right. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot happened, but we can talk
Stuff
about
is coming up. We got some fun stuff this weekend that we're doing.
Yes. Oh yeah, yes, yeah. In our that's actually a good point. That's why nothing happened this week is because all the cool stuff is happening tomorrow and then literally the next 2 days. Let me just do one of these. There we go. Am I a bit bright? Do we maybe meh? Yeah.
Your call. Okay.
I'm going to do that. I like that. Yes. So, Lightning, how was your week? I don't know why I'm like martial arts bowing to you, but yeah.
So my week's been interesting in the fact that I really fucked up my toe.
Oh yeah, so talk about this.
I gave myself an ingrown toenail, which I thought I understood how these things work.
Yeah.
But it's the worst one I've ever had in my life. And I'm doing everything to try and counter it, because this weekend I have a show tonight. The band's playing a show. Tomorrow we have Rhode Island Comic-Con, which will
probably be the most intensive thing for an ingrown toenail.
We will be making a vlog about it, so
yes.
That'll be up on the channel. And then Sunday I can just sit.
Right, Sunday's D&D, which, yeah.
But where was I going with that? I go to school in Boston. And I had to go to school.
And you've actually been going, because past semesters it's been just
yeah, I'm going into Boston.
Not digital, virtual.
Yeah, I'm going into Boston, so it's been a pain in the ass. I got to take a train. I got to get off that. I got to run for like 3 miles to get to another train. And then I get off of that. And then the school's essentially right there, so that's easy enough. But
how long does transportation take you from house to school?
So if I get to the train station at 8 o'clock, I'll be 10 minutes late for my 9:30 class.
That sounds about right, based on my experiences with the train system.
Yeah. So that's been, it's starting to it's feeling right now the best it has without medication all week.
That's good.
Holy Jesus. Yeah. Thank you, Mason.
Yeah, the fucking trains in Boston suck, and they're just getting worse.
Yeah, yes, that's a video essay. But I'm hoping we're on the back end of this. I'm hoping tonight I can play the show and I can be my normal self. I don't have to like be flinching in pain or whatnot. And then tomorrow, I obviously hope we're good to go.
Tomorrow,
but we'd be real lucky if I'm just starting to get over this right now, as things are getting important. Because if right now it feels like what it felt like when I was taking Tylenol. Didn't one catch on fire? Probably one of the trains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pauline's. Yes. Almost a little too quick. Almost like she did it. I'm not. But yeah, that's my week. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So tomorrow on the docket, the plan is I've got a. I'm sorry if this isn't what you were hoping for tomorrow. But there's so many fucking people I want to meet
Oh yeah,
who are gonna be at this.
yeah. No, I think we're probably gonna separate at some point. Definitely.
I think I'm gonna go in, try and bang out a couple quickies, and then do the floor.
Okay.
I gotta get Ralph Macchio. I gotta
He's
get
like
Ralph
the only
Macchio.
one you're missing from Cobra Kai, right? Essentially.
For my mom and Pauline's dad, I want to get them
for the adult characters.
Yeah, I want to get them both for myself if I can. Because they're both gonna be there, and I don't have either right now. So that would be really cool. There's Star Wars people. I can't even remember all the people I want. I got to make my list tonight.
Well, as far as Star Wars goes, the biggest one is Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks. Does he make the cut for your?
He's last. He is. I'll take anybody. There's actually smaller Star Wars people there that I remember. I can't. I'm gonna try and look it up while we're talking.
Yeah, sure.
There are smaller Star Wars characters showing up who I am legends, eons
more excited
to meet than him. And it's no offense to the dude. Honestly, I will chalk it up to writing. It's a bad character.
Oh,
he got famous for a bad character, and I'm sorry that happened to him.
Say what you will about the prequels. It is, without a doubt, for many reasons, George Lucas's worst written character.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Well,
no arguing.
And I think this might stem from the invention of Jar Jar Binks, but I cringe at the young kid from young Boba Fett is gonna be there. I'm real excited to meet him. Danny Trejo, also in Star Wars now.
True.
Oh my God, Chris Christopherson is this character's name. I forget. It's the new Wookiee.
The Wookiee. The Wookiee's name is fuck.
I mean, nobody's seeing any of these. This is Amy Allen. She plays the blue Twi'lek Jedi. I'm excited to meet her. It's Chris Offerman, right? That's his name?
Yeah, Nick Offerman's son. No, what the fuck is his name? Why can't I think of his goddamn name?
Christian.
Chris Christie. Governor
Christy Carlson Romano.
The
Wookiee.
Chris Christie Carlson Romano. Which is a combination of the governor of New Orleans.
Let's put it this way. I didn't even take a screenshot of the fact that he's going to be there. Why am I looking at my photos when I could have just gone directly to
I don't know,
to them on Instagram? I mean, they got like everybody there on Instagram. Give me let's keep talking. Tell me how your Rhode Island Comic-Con is going to look.
Now I need to know the fucking Wookiee from the Book of Boba Fett.
I'm sorry. We're doing this.
It's not Tarful. That's the one from the video game. Book of Boba Fett Wookiee. What are you called, my friend? Chrysanthemum. Black. His name is Black Chrysanthemum, and it's spelled KRRSANTAN.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
That's why I couldn't remember it, because it's like even within the world of Star Wars, just a bunch of letters put together in a random order. What was your question? You want to know? So I'm the most excited for Jason David Frank. I think that might be the only person I end up meeting. He was the Green Power Ranger.
Yes. Well, they announced quite a few Power Rangers.
Yes. So what's interesting about that is I have a poster on my wall that I'm planning on very carefully, meticulously taking down. It's a group photo.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah.
It's a group photo from the movie. So it's not Austin St. John as the Red Power Ranger. It's Steve Cardenas as the Red Power Ranger, and he's also going to be there. So if I'm going to have Jason David Frank sign that one, I might as well have him sign that one. I just need to make sure I have enough money for that.
That's cool. Did this get past us?
Yeah,
Mickey Mouse from Kingdom Hearts?
It's the like current voice of Mickey Mouse who's
That's
been
crazy.
killing it for a few years, but Yeah, I think Mickey and Goofy are gonna be there.
Yeah, Goofy, I'm excited to meet. I just saw somebody post a picture of an autograph from Jim Cummings. I want that.
Yeah, he's not gonna be there. I
No.
don't think, but yeah.
Oh, one of the Monty Python guys is gonna be there.
Oh, cool.
I'm really. He is also on my list.
I
Bowser's gonna be there.
I couldn't find a list of like Artist Alley people on the website.
Oh, interesting.
I found like artists, but it was like comic book artists, and I was looking for like to see if Karen Hallion was going to be there, like those type of people. What am I looking at? Oh, it's
Just the best musician in Star Wars. Have you seen the meme that's like, "Don't claim you know jazz if you don't know who this is"? And it's him?
Max Rebo.
Yes.
Max Rebo dead? Exploded in Book of Boba Fett? Question mark.
Probably, right?
I mean, think he exploded when that bar exploded.
But so didn't Boba Fett, kinda. He didn't explode. He got eaten, but
right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You never know when we're gonna get a Christ. What's his name? Say it again.
Chrysanthemum?
No, Max
Rebo?
Yeah, you never know when he's gonna come back.
And he's gonna have his own spin-off.
I'll watch it. The White Power Rangers are gonna be there.
That's the green one also.
Right.
Hypno Crown is here. Hello, Hypno Crown.
Hello, Hypno Crown. We're looking up people at a Comic-Con we're gonna see tomorrow.
We have a con tomorrow that we're excited about.
Only Marvel person, Michael Rooker again. I already met him in Lou Ferrigno, but like I'm good.
Except the white kid from what the fuck is that show called? From Miss Marvel is gonna be there.
Oh, I'm really good.
He was also in Walking Dead apparently.
That's nice. I don't need to meet him.
Yeah. No, but I mean, if you're talking Marvel people,
right?
That guy is
he
there.
He is technically in it.
Everybody from Doom Patrol is going to be there. Except
oh no, I've
Fraser.
stumbled into 2021. That's not what I want.
Oh.
Okay, we're done.
Okay. Hello, Volcana them.
Volcana them. Hello, Hypnocrown. What's up? Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for being here. So
yeah, totally. Oh yeah, we didn't even mention we're early stream.
Yeah,
because you have a show tonight.
Yeah, band's playing tonight. We got Rhode Island Comic Con tomorrow. We will have the video up about that at some point.
Yeah.
And then D&D. Our first session of the new campaign, which I'm really excited about. So
yeah,
that was my week. Sorry I went way too long. That was my week. That's what's going on with me. That's what's happened with me. How is your week going?
Yeah, so I've been writing a lot of D&D. I did watch a couple movies, which we're going to talk about in the next section of the stream. What else did I do? I pre-ordered God of War Ragnarok.
Nice.
Man, I really didn't do much. Now that I'm like really taking a long look at.
Well, we've been prepping.
Yeah, we had I will talk about this. We had Dr. Shaw on the stream. For those of you who missed it, we had a special Tuesday stream on a weird day where we played Smash Brothers with Dr. Shaw from Zen Family Dental, and it was really cool. He's a really cool guy. We took him out to dinner afterwards, and we had a few great conversations with him. So we're gonna have a video on that also eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a couple of cool things that I just gotta edit. Hypno says TGIF indeed. Today is my day off, which is awesome. I also pre-ordered God of War Ragnarok. Can't wait for next week. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Oh, I got a job. I have been offered a remote position at Sanchi.
Oh, you didn't tell me about this.
This just happened.
So what does this entail?
I don't know. Like exactly. I'm still in the process of like like getting all the information that one would need to start a job. But it's looking like it's gonna be part-time work, 4 hours a day, Monday to Friday, in addition to the
What
con
you're doing.
stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very exciting. I'd be interested to find out like what you will be, what you can offer them remotely.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't assume that would be an option with this job.
Well, me either, because I didn't mention this because nothing was going to happen with it. But they shut up.
I know.
They offered me.
I'm gonna be with my wife all day. I can't. I'm sorry. I know. Pauline's allergic to cats.
Correct. They offered.
I'm sorry.
They offered me
Oh God.
a in-person position at their office, but that's in Seattle.
Yeah.
So I genuinely considered it for a few days, like all the options, how would that work? And I was just like, I can't. So I messaged them, and I was basically like, no, I can't, but I would, and I'd love to, and I appreciate it. And then just out of sheer like, like, might as well, I was like, is there any sort of remote position, anything I can do from here to help? And they just got back to me and were like, yeah, we talked about it, and sure. So
That kid emoji.
It's yeah, which I still need to add to this stream somehow.
There's a lot of instances where he could be used. But that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. That's really cool. I'm glad
it just happened yesterday.
Yeah, I'm glad they're acknowledging that you've put in the work for this company, because frankly, not a lot of people would be willing to do what you're doing for a part-time job.
Yeah. Well, I had a pretty cool conversation with one of my coworkers at New York, and she told me something that I didn't know, which is essentially at PAX East, the first one I did, it was me as far as like what do you call them? Like as far as like contractors, it was me and another person.
Yeah.
And basically, apparently what happened was there was like a team meeting where they were like, we do not like the other person. We'd much rather Thunder from Thunder and Lightning Gaming work for us. And that's where, like, that's how I got the Anime Boston gig, because that's kind of what drove the conversation, because it's like there's another Boston con soon, and both those people are from Boston. And now here I am.
Awesome. Congratulations, Thunder.
Thank you. It's technically not official yet, but like,
how long until Thunder and Lightning Gaming gets their own plushies from Sanchi?
Oh, I know, right?
Tell them we're waiting in the dock.
Do you want to know a fun fact that I learned recently?
Yeah.
If you want a plush of Max from Stranger Things from Sanchi, that'll be $34.99. If you want a plush of Donald Duck from the Disney store in New York, that'll be $24.99.
Oh shit. Well, that actually makes sense to me, because Donald Duck's mass produced, right? These are like, I'm kind of talking out of my ass a little bit, but I can only assume Sanchi is like a few steps above like home. How am I trying to word this?
I don't know.
There's less mass production of that doll that you just held up.
Oh yeah, of course.
Than there is of that Donald Duck doll
right.
that they're selling at the Disney store. Like, that one is probably a bit nicer because it's a bit more what am I trying to say? DIY is not the word I want. Made from home is not the word I want.
No.
It's but it's not a factory-made Donald Duck toy. Like, even if it is made in a factory, like, I'm sure there's better material put into that because it's a smaller company than
right.
whatever's making that Donald Duck toy. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably a better quality product, and there's less of them around.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. No, you're
That's what I'm trying to say.
definitely right about there's less of them around. I didn't touch this Donald Duck. I was just curious. No, they make good
Yeah.
stuff, and we are in no way sponsored by them or Zan Family Dental.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's the only reason I got the job. Just kidding. That'd be ridiculous. No, I got the job because I was desperate for money, and then I really ended up enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're liking it. So
I'm still so curious how PAX Unplugged is gonna go, because we're going to
That's
PAX
cool.
Unplugged, and that's just tabletop games.
I haven't even told Pauline about that. We might try and go down.
Okay.
Depending on when it is. Assuming she's interested. It's all it's PAX, but all tabletop
Yeah.
games, Pauline. It sounds cool.
And since she does exclusively video game merch,
Yeah,
so I'm
that'll be
curious to
interesting.
see how that works. PAX Unplugged is in Philly, I think. I could be wrong about that.
I just love the title of that convention because it's perfect.
Yeah, it's great. Because I didn't know what PAX Unplugged was, and once they said that, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So, if that's all for you for the week, I think we're gonna jump into news. We got a big thing to talk about. But I wanna. Are you good? Do you wanna keep talking?
No, I'm good. Sorry, I wanna see where is this? Oh, yes, yeah, the Pennsylvania Convention Center in Philadelphia.
Cool. I want to real quick give a big shout out to Drizzle and Monsoon, 'cause
Nope.
I did it again, didn't I?
No, you're good. I also do it.
Tsunami.
Yeah.
Drizzle and Tsunami. I want to give them a big shout out because they streamed 2 nights ago? They streamed recently.
No, they streamed. Yes, 2 nights ago. Sorry, my
Yeah.
week has been weird.
3 days ago, we were at 112 followers. They streamed. I went to bed. I woke up. We were at 115.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're paying people. I don't know what's going on, but you guys are killing it, and people are showing up. And thank you so much. You guys are an awesome part of this channel. That's all. Yeah, Drizzle and Monsoon. That'd be an awesome stream. Cool. So, with that, let us get into the news.
Yes. Is there any small things we can talk about before we get into the big topic of discussion?
Yeah, there was. I keep fucking this up. I keep shutting off stream by accident. So please bear with me while I don't do that.
While you do that, there has been an exciting development in the world of British television. Doctor Who, I'm sure you've heard about this. Doctor Who has regenerated into a past Doctor Who actor.
Oh, shit.
So basically, long story short, what happens is the reason they keep getting different actors and actresses to play Doctor Who is because the way they write it off in fiction is this creature, this being has like a temporary form, and once it's like used it enough or like takes enough damage, essentially it like regenerates, and that's what happens when it turns into a different actor. Typically, the clothes stay the same, so like the 11th Doctor will be running around in the 10th Doctor's clothes for a scene or two. But this time, and I happen to see this live, I just so happen to be watching at this moment because I'm not caught up with Doctor Who. I'm like 6 seasons behind. But Jodie Whittaker starts to regenerate, and her clothes change, and then she regenerated into David Tennant, who is the 10th Doctor and widely regarded as the most popular Doctor. Yeah, we all knew that David Tennant was coming back for the 30th anniversary, the 60th anniversary. But we didn't know how, because they've done that before, where like you're watching the 11th Doctor, but he's hanging out with the 10th and the 9th, but it's time travel, so they do it like that.
Okay.
But this one is literally like the next canonical regeneration, for one reason or another, is an old one, which has never happened before.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, because they always announce the actor or actress who's going to play them before it's revealed in the show.
Okay.
Which I disagree with, but
yeah, it'd be cool
publicity.
to just see it happen. Huh?
Yeah. And we already know the actor who's going to play the 14th Doctor, and it's not David Tennant, because of course it isn't. Because he played the so it's cool. I'm interested to see what happens. I think I might catch up before the 60th.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keeping in the British realm. So
Oh,
there
no.
was nothing,
Oh, okay.
nothing bad. There was another one of those prop auctions.
Oh, yes.
And the
Oh,
James Bond, Pierce Bronson's hero Walther PPK from GoldenEye.
Okay.
That is the gun.
So the gun he uses?
Yeah, I'm just going to do this. Showing you.
Oh, got it. Oh, yeah, okay.
So here's the gun that he used. Sold. It sold over 5 times its original estimate.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's get the guesses in.
Okay.
And this is in pounds.
Right.
So do with that
right.
information what you will. It's not a huge difference.
No, not anymore, right? It's kind of like we're kind of
It's
evening
pretty
out.
close.
Yeah.
Theirs is slightly more than ours.
Yes. That I did know.
So what are the guesses? Anybody in chat has a guess? Thunder, I want your guess.
Oh,
what
man.
do we think
These
Pierce
are
Bronson's famous gun
God, we
went
haven't
for?
done this in a while. These I remember being all over the place.
Oh, they are.
No,
They are. This is worse than Gwyneth sometimes.
10,000 pounds is what my dad says.
We
I
got
think I'm
10,000.
gonna.
Keep in mind,
You said
I'm
5
not-
times more than its asking
it went.
price.
I was just gonna say that 5 times more than its asking price. Original estimate. So I'm sorry, not its asking price.
Oh, it's estimate.
what they assumed it was gonna sell
Oh,
for. It's
interesting.
5 times more than that.
Because if I remember last time we did this, sometimes those were pretty close. I'm gonna.
If I may, too, I believe this is one of the only guns called out by name in 007.
in the movie itself.
yeah.
Okay.
In 007, they literally tell you what the make and model of this
Mm.
pistol is.
Yeah, because as iconic as 007 is, he doesn't really have an iconic gun except for
Well,
that
they
one,
always
right?
have pistols,
Right.
but the models always change. So this is Pierce Bronson's model.
Yeah.
This is the pistol that he uses. Actually, I think he's kind of unique. I think most of the time they do have a specific model, but he has his own.
Mason says 30K.
Okay.
Monsoon says 250,000 pounds.
Okay.
I think I was throwing around a number in my head. I think I'm gonna go with 50,000 pounds.
Okay.
That's what I want to say.
Are we ready?
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah.
I believe Monsoon wins.
Oh no! Oh no!
This
Don't buy a
prop gun,
Don't buy a prop
Went
gun for
for
this much.
162. How do you math?
162,000 pounds,
162.
and then 3
Thousand.
zeros.
162,500 pounds.
Oh,
I forgot where I put the 500.
No,
in
you're
for a
good.
minute.
You're good. Numbers. suck.
162,500 pounds.
That is a lot for a gun that doesn't
A
work.
prop gun. Yes. Yes. So
a gun that doesn't shoot.
can you believe that?
No, I can't. That's ridiculous. That's way too much.
If
Let's say I had all the money in the world.
if you were a rich
If I was a rich girl, yeah. Let's say I had let's say money wasn't a
Yeah.
issue. I think me personally, I think I might throw like 8,000 on something like that.
Yeah, well, I looked at it, right? I usually some of these things I'm like, "Oh, that's neat. I would never want that, but that's neat." I saw this and I was like, "You know what? I fucking want I want that." I think I'm in the same boat though. I'd be like, I'll spend 8,000 on
Yeah, that's the thing, like you got to put into perspective like the rich assholes that are buying this stuff, and it's like even if I'm rich, how much money am I willing to blow on a display piece?
They actually showed their
essentially.
faces, which I can't believe. The auctioneer took a selfie with everybody.
Oh,
and
interesting.
it was like a small, intimate room.
Yeah.
In the walls were all screens, and they were showing like the pieces that they've sold in
cool.
the past and whatnot. And like it looks like high society, fancy. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
You got to think that
that was one piece.
person who ended up with James Bond gun has like a room of stuff.
Well,
He's like,
oh, you mean the guy who bought it? I know.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you meant who sold it. 'Cause
No, the
you
guy-
know
the
that's
guy
the
who-
studio.
right? No, yeah, the guy who bought it's got to have like, remember Peter Dinklage in the Between Two Ferns movie?
Yes.
Ba-
Yes.
basically that is what I'm picturing.
I
Where it's
dig
just
that.
like, and here's my James Bond's GoldenEye gun, and here's my Indiana Jones whip, and here's my Luke Skywalker's first lightsaber.
This guy's got some high-end stuff. And in the words of Indiana Jones, if I may, it belongs in a museum. And I truly believe that. I think there should be a Hollywood
if I
archive
can-
museum.
If I can, if I may, take on the role of this fake person who has all this stuff, if I can quote a different movie, that is Killmonger from Black Panther. Nah, I'm gonna take this off your hands.
Touché. It does though. There should be like Universal and Warner Brothers and Disney. As a matter of fact,
Oh
Disney's,
yeah, well there isn't an official one, but there's some movie props on display
well,
at
they're
some
in
museums,
like
right?
Smithsonian's and stuff, which is nice and all that the government's taking control of this stuff. But like, there should be a Disney museum. There should be that would be fucking huge. I would go to the Disney museum. There should be a Warner Brothers museum. There should be a Universal and Paramount museum. Like, there's some cool stuff that you're just giving out to the public.
I think a Disney museum could be cool now. I feel like even 20 years ago, it would be kind of like there wouldn't be much to. But now they have
Now
Star
they have
Wars and
everything.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Disney's history was just animation.
Yeah.
You can't really have a museum based on.
They do have archives of all the cells and stuff.
True. Yeah, you could have actual.
cool.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah,
right.
no, that would-
nobody would want to show up for all the cell work. No, not the general public.
Right. Right.
I mean, there are people. I would check it out, and I know
Yeah.
filmmakers would want to check it out
Yeah.
and whatnot. But the general public probably wouldn't have a lot of interest. But it's sold. If nothing else, it makes for a fun bit on our podcast every now and then. Yeah, you want to catch us up on comments?
Hypno was singing the Fiddler on the Roof in our comments.
Oh, cool.
And Mason just says you can't have an art museum,
Oh, just in general?
which I think I'm not quite sure what you mean. I think he might mean like you can't have just an art museum. Like it has to be like if Disney were to do it, like what we were saying, it can't just be.
Oh, sure.
would have to
if
be-
he's talking about in that regard. I agree. You can't just have a film cell like, here it is. Here's
Right.
the museum.
You could have a room of that maybe.
Yeah. Well, there's
but-
some cool stuff, like going back to like the 30s and shit.
Oh
But-
yeah, of course, yeah.
Not everybody's interested in that stuff. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas gets a prequel for 2023.
Great, sure, fuck it. Make a prequel of everything. Did you hear about the Friday the 13th prequel?
But that's no.
They're making a Friday the 13th prequel series, and get this, the person making it doesn't have the legal rights to use the character Jason Voorhees. So the
Cool.
series is going to be called Crystal Lake, and as far as I can tell,
So it's going to be non-canonical, obviously.
it sounds like it's going to be canonical.
It's going to be canonical, but he doesn't have the right to use the fucking character's name?
Yeah, it seems to me like it's just going to be a rom-com about a bunch of campers. Not really, but like that's
Yeah,
based
no, I
on
mean,
the
at this
information I've been given. Yeah, with the
God damn.
Warner Brothers or whoever it is, or Paramount, I think, has like weird. Those rights are all over the place. That's why the Friday the 13th game like had to be taken down or whatever.
I can't find it. I had another thing I wanted to mention about Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm struggling to find it, so I might paraphrase and I apologize. But the creators, the people who aren't Tim Burton for that movie
Yeah.
are like a little annoyed that he keeps getting all the credit, because they were his characters, but we put a hell of a lot of work into making them what they were on screen.
Well, yes. I will counter that by saying the name of the movie has his name in
Tim
it.
Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I understand where they're coming from. I don't think calling it Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas is meant to discredit their hard work.
Yeah, no,
Because that is literally the title of the piece.
Well, I'm glad we're talking about this now because you bring up a good point. I didn't even think of that. Not only is that the actual title of the movie, but like I guess anybody could say that about any movie. George Lucas gets all the credit for Star Wars. Well, I just watch Industrial Lights and Magic, the documentary, and like, goddamn, maybe that dude should be taken down a few pegs because they put a hell of a lot of work into creating the iconic scenery that is Star Wars. But they don't take it that way, you know. So it's an interesting concept. Somebody who's not the director being like, well, I put a lot of work into your movie. And I think I deserve some credit, too. It's
and
like
that's one
anybody
of those,
could say that.
That's one of those things where, like, I think if, like, because companies have done this before. I think maybe even Disney has done it before. But, like, not that Tim Burton was canceled at all. But I feel like if they, like, subtly, across all medium, change the name to Disney's I did it, too. Nightmare Before Christmas.
You want to say On Elm Street, right?
Yeah. Well, no, my mouth wants to say A Nightmare Before Christmas, but that's not what it's called.
Oh, did I say that?
No, that's what you almost said, but then you corrected yourself, which is what I...
What is it called?
It's just called Nightmare Before Christmas, not A Nightmare.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I feel like people wouldn't notice, like no one would like...
Tim Burton might.
Tim Burton might, but like, guys, I think the guy's pretty well off.
Yeah, he's
for
done
now.
enough shit.
What has he done? He kind of disappeared, huh? He hasn't really done anything, has he?
Some people take their leave. Some people are just done. No, he is making something, actually. Something's coming up. I'm going to keep moving on, though, because I do have a few other things. Fantastic Beasts 4 and 5 Harry Potter spin-offs reportedly stalled at Warner Bros. Discovery. So this is from WWG. I'm going to read what they wrote because I liked the way they wrote it. Breaking! It looks like the Harry Potter franchise is currently dead after the failure of the last Fantastic Beasts movie.
Thank Christ.
Well, I know there's a lot of stigma around her, which there obviously should be. I don't want the Harry Potter franchise to be dead.
Oh, I don't think this has anything to do with J.K. Rowling. I think those movies are just trash.
Oh, well, that's where I was getting at. I want that series dead, but like don't never make another Harry Potter thing. I think there's a lot of really fucking cool directions they could go that have nothing to do with this jackass in that movie that wasn't that great that they said, "Oh, let's make fucking 10 of them."
Right.
Like do anything else. We're in a era of cinematic universes.
Yes.
Do something fucking cool with Harry Potter.
See, that's the thing. It's obviously common knowledge that J.K. Rowling writes the script for these movies, which is probably why the movies are failing because she's not a script writer. But if they were like, we recognize that she's getting canceled, so we're not making these anymore, like that's just could get a new writer that doesn't matter. But if they're going to stop making them because these movies suck and make no money at the box office, then like I get it.
Yeah.
You also came out strong being like, oh, The Hobbit can be 3 movies? Well, fuck it. Our thing that's based off 0 books is going to be 5 movies. Also, update.
Yes.
Tim Burton made the live-action Dumbo movie. I forgot he did that.
Right.
Never saw that. Also, real quick, Mason says Henry Selick, the director of Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, was upset that they added Tim Burton's name to the title a couple weeks before it debuts. So wait, what did Tim Burton do? Just character design and script?
Yeah, I think he wrote the script. I don't even think he did character design. That's the point. I think that they like put.
Isn't that his whole thing?
Maybe he did. I don't know.
Let me hang on. I was just on his.
I was just on
his fucking page. Hold on. Feature film. What did you do on The Nightmare Before Christmas? He was producer and he wrote the story but not the script, and it was directed by Henry Selick. So he's not the director. He was a producer, main producer, and he didn't write the script, but he wrote the story.
Okay.
And of course it's based on story and characters by Tim Burton.
Okay.
So he wrote he essentially Rocky 1. He essentially wrote the.
No, you're not giving Sylvester Stallone enough credit. He wrote that whole fucking script in 2 days.
He wrote, but he didn't. It's not his final script that made it to the movie, right?
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
apt,
coming out strong with these comments,
I'm
but
apt to believe you. No, screenplay by Sly Stallone. Yeah, that's that I didn't know. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm coming around the other end of this, being like, why did they do that? Because if he didn't
yeah,
direct it, if he and he didn't, he also didn't write the script.
I'm glad Mason named the situation because now it does bring it more into perspective. His issue is don't call it Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Because
We all
it's
worked
not.
really hard, and he was He wasn't even the director. The other guy was the director.
Right.
So, okay, I am coming back around to being on this dude's side. That's kind of a big. Also, it was last minute. I didn't realize that. So I'm sure nobody, I'm sure he didn't even sign off on this movie being called Tim Burton, the director, whose name isn't in front of me. I'm sure he wasn't even aware that Tim Burton was gonna snag all the credit for this one.
Right. Well, actually, I actually have a Let me see something real quick, because I'm.
You know what though? It's not called A Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, see, I don't even like that. If it was called Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, that actually has the best ring to it.
Okay. Fuck. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. When I was in high school,
Yeah.
a movie came out called Coraline.
Oh, I love Coraline.
That movie's great. The only reason I saw that movie is because I thought it was made by Tim Burton.
Yeah, it's very real, same vibe.
Well, no. Yes, of course, but the trailer said from the director of Nightmare Before Christmas, and I just looked it up. Hey, guess who directed Coraline?
Goddamn.
Why, it's Henry Selick.
Ooh, Henry Selick. You know, maybe I have been giving Tim Burton enough credit and not you. So good on you. Two excellent movies.
Henry Selick directed Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach,
shit,
Monkey Bone, Coraline, and Wendell and Wild, which just came out like a couple weeks ago.
I don't think I saw it. Well, I know I haven't seen it. It just came out a couple weeks ago.
So what did Homeboy
that
do
dude
on...
kicks ass. He's got like 4 big knockout movies, one I never heard of and one that just came out.
So the two big... I'm fucking canceling Tim Burton. The two big Tim Burton movies that I associated with being a kid, The Nightmare Before Christmas and James and the Giant Peach, he was just the producer, and those were both directed by Henry Selick.
Well, time out. Before we jump down Tim Burton's
I'm not actually
throat.
Canceling him.
No, I know. We have to remember that he doesn't just do animation. Tim Burton is responsible for the Batman films of the 90s. We do have to keep that in mind. He did give us those films.
Yes. Yeah, as far as films...
he also put nipples on Batman. So
Well, wasn't that the 4th one?
Yeah, well, didn't he do them all?
No, he did the first 2.
Oh.
No, he did the first 3. Literally, the nipples one was not him.
Oh, okay. Good on you, Tim Burton. You escaped just in time.
As far as directing, we're talking Pee-wee's Big Adventure. We're talking Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, Ed Wood, Mars Attacks.
He's got quite I was going to say discography, but that's not really. He's got quite a filmography under his belt.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Beyond animation. So Tim Burton's still pretty awesome, but this dude's name should also be pretty household as well.
It's so I'm just having a complicated thought of I know the trailer for Coraline said from the director of Nightmare Before Christmas.
They obviously did that on purpose. They didn't name him.
But why would you, as Henry Selick, let them do that in advertising?
I think I can tell you why.
Because
he
it
knew
tricked
Coraline
me.
Kicked ass, and I'm sure he knew that. And I think this was going to be his way of. I think he was probably hoping people would make that connection, realize Tim Burton's name isn't attached to this, and that might give him more recognition. Do you know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah. It just sounds like he's It seems to me like he's endorsing the fact that people don't know who he is, and I don't know. That's interesting. That's so interesting to me because it I'm sure it tricked some people because it tricked me. I thought I was going to see a Tim Burton movie, and then. Since then, I did know before today that Tim Burton had nothing to do with Coraline. And I was just like, oh, I thought he did, whatever. But now that I've done some research, this is a fucking fuck.
Yeah.
Shit.
Moving on. Dodgeball 2.
Uh-oh.
Justin Long reveals Vince Vaughn has planned for a sequel. The end.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh,
Uh,
geez.
And I think that's all the little news I have.
Let's talk about... Oh, my God. That was real.
Your death?
Let's talk about my death. It's happening now. Let's talk about James Gunn for the, like,
And
17th.
his involvement of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
So, do you have this pulled up, or
I don't.
I
Would
just
you
want
mind
to
pulling that up.
Yeah, I just want to get the name of the other guy.
Oh,
What's up?
never mind. I just I don't know if it was intentional or not, but your dad put 10,000 pounds. I like how he worded it. He did LBS,
Yeah.
like weight pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I just looked down and I was like, "Oh,
How do you abbreviate
I don't
pound
know.
sterling?
I don't know." That's why I was like, I'll take it. I know what you mean.
Okay, I found the name. DC,
Yes.
which was called DC Entertainment, is changing their name to DC Studios, and they have I'm not seeing the exact story. I'm just seeing like people. They have a new CEO essentially. It's like I think it's like co-CEO and co-chairperson or something like that is their official title. But it's Peter Safran and James Gunn. So those people, I'm gonna look up Peter Safran right now because I'm not quite familiar with the name, but let's see if I'm familiar with his work. Oh, he's a horror movie guy. Okay. He's done some horror movie stuff. He currently serves as the co-chairperson and CEO of DC Studios. Nailed it. So they're going to head DC Entertainment, DC Movies. They're but not just movies. They're in charge of movies, TV, and animation. So anything that gets released through DC as far as like visual media goes,
Yeah.
whether canonical or non-canonical, goes through them. And you and I had a discussion the other day that we're probably going to recreate right now about what this means.
Yeah.
Because you and I have many complaints about DC movies, but we have the one big complaint that we've always had is that we're not talking about opinions. If you like MCU better than DC, whatever. If you like DC better than MCU, whatever. Putting that aside, the MCU has spent the better part of the last 16 years
Somewhere in there, yeah.
building like a film series. It's the first film cinematic universe that feels like a living, breathing universe.
Mm-hmm.
And you get used to that, and then you switch things over to DC and see what they're doing, and there is no cohesion. There's no attempt at canonizing any of this. We have Joker that takes place outside of everything else, and then it's they break continuity all the time. How Justice League is supposedly the first time that Wonder Woman showed up, except there's 2 full movies of her being a superhero in the 40s and in the 70s or whatever.
Well, if I could, talking on the avenue that we're going down with this conversation, I would not be upset if DC, I don't know if they've flat out said this before or if they've just hinted at it enough. I wouldn't be upset if DC was like, we're just making movies. We're just making movies, and if you guys want to make connections, you can make connections, but we're just making, but that's clearly not what they're doing.
Right.
They're trying to do what Marvel's doing.
Yeah. And every time they fail in an individual movie, they basically are just like, All right, on to the next thing. Like
Yeah.
you like there are MCU movies that are failures financially. Iron
Mhm.
Man 2, Thor 2, The Incredible Hulk. You can't just like jump ship and go to something else just because you like got a good director who has a good story. Like Joker is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. I've never seen it. I understand that it's very good and a lot of people like it. But you talk to these producers, you see interviews with these producers, they're like, how is it linked to all the other fucking Batman things that are happening right now? And they're like, well, interesting question. It's not. And it's like, well...
And isn't it ironic that probably the 2 best DC movies to come out of the last decade have nothing to do with the bullshit that they're trying to set up? Speaking on Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, just to be more specific. And the Joker.
Right.
Have nothing continuity-wise to do with any of the overarching...
Right. They have nothing to do with each other. They have nothing to do with the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
And then you muddy the water even more by allowing Zack Snyder to re-release Justice League, which is an old, practically entirely decanonized movie at this point.
Right.
And I understand that he had a vision, and that vision was not met, and then he got to do that again or whatever. Good for him. Great thing that happened in cinema, I guess. But like, it was just such a weird moment of like, am I supposed to care about these characters?
Right.
As I watched a second take at this movie, which never happens, like on a large scale like this. So it's just it's that's why I wanted to emphasize like you and I talk about the MCU a lot, but I'm not here to be like, and that's why MCU is definitively better.
Oh, sure.
But I am here to say that like whether
objectively they've done better. They've done a better job.
They've definitely done
universe.
better. Yeah, financially, story wise,
because fact of the matter is, let's jump back 4 or 5 years ago, where I was too. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Oh, where I was too timid, if you would, to not knowing where to start with the MCU. I said, "Geez, I don't know where to go." I would have bet money there's no way in hell you're gonna get me to like Iron Man in a cinematic sense. There's no way you're gonna get me to like him better than Superman or Batman. I've grown up on Superman and Batman. They're my guys.
Yeah.
And it's been, as a DC fan, which I haven't referred to myself as that in a long time, but I am. I do love the characters that they created, and although I'm disheartened, unhappy with how things have been going, I still love the characters because, frankly, they've been around for 75, 80 years, and you're not going to let one decade spoil all the rest of it.
Right.
It's been really tough, and my eyebrow I've given up on the DCEU, DCCU, whatever the hell they wanted to call themselves, because it's frankly, it's felt like a waste of time. There's other things I could be doing.
Yeah.
There's other movies I could be watching.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like Black Adam just came out, right?
Yeah.
And I have no interest in seeing it for multiple reasons. Apparently, it's very good. I don't like if I'm gonna go to the movie theaters, I'm gonna go see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever because it looks better, but that's not the point. I'm gonna enjoy that one more, I think, because it is part of a growing, ever growing, moving
that you're invested in.
Universe.
You're invested in the MCU.
It's almost like it's easy to get invested in something when everything is canonical.
Not only that, it's a neat little package in a nice bow. And you want to invest in that because it's going to keep growing, and that they've gone out of their way to assure us, the fans, which this has never really happened before in cinema history either. They've gone out of their way to assure the fans that, on the back end, we've got the layout, we've got the organization, the hierarchy. We have established who's going to be running this.
Yeah.
Not only that, but for the first time ever, they're doing the same thing with Star Wars. They said, you guys obviously enjoy the trust that we give you on the back end of these films. We're gonna start giving you that with Star Wars as well, because we know who the heroes are in Star Wars at this point on behind the camera.
It feels very calculated, which is not the same thing you could say about the DCEU. The DCEU seems like, obviously Marvel and Disney like money, right? But looking from the outside in, it really seems like the people behind the MCU are trying to create a cohesive storytelling platform, and the people at the DCU just want money and are going to go with whatever is making them money. That's why James Gunn's Suicide Squad was like an outlier as far as like how good it was, but also it's like weirdly connected but not connected to the rest of them because there's no rules. It's just over at DC.
It's the difference between caring, loving, and taking pride in what you're creating versus backing all your money on the names. They had fucking Superman.
Yeah.
They had Superman. You're going to tell me you tanked with Superman? And the reason they tanked with Superman is because they depended on Superman to be the to lead the charge. You got to lead the charge. You got to make Superman cool in the 21st century. You can't just have Superman be Superman. You got to make him Superman.
And then when you bring up Superman and now you bring up the topic of contracts. What do DC contracts look like compared to MCU contracts? Because there was one Superman movie, and then there was Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which I guess is a Superman movie. He's not. I know you've never seen it. It's more of a Batman movie than a Superman one. And then, spoiler alert, he dies in that one. They do the Death of Superman arc like way too early, in my opinion.
Well,
and then they bring him back in Justice League, and that was the last time anyone saw him. Like, there was no Man of Steel 2. There was no like second beat on Superman because Henry Cavill was like, "Oh, my contract says I can leave. Well, then I'm going to because I want." But and now he's back. Like they just can. It seems like they can do whatever they want. Whereas I was talking to you about this. I have a feeling that Marvel was smart enough to be like, "Here's a contract. Here's when it's up," and then they go back to the person and they're like, "Here's the story that we're trying to write for the next 6 or 7 years. Would you sign this contract? It looks like this." And then, and then with the case of people like Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., they probably had like, "Okay, we're doing a thing. Do you want to do it?" And then you can be done, stuff like that. We'll offer you all this fucking money, and then you don't have to be Iron Man anymore.
Right. And that was 15 years down the line. And I guarantee you they stuck around for as long as they did because there was a plan. And I bet you Henry Cavill's coming back because he heard that somebody who knows what they're doing is coming back or taking charge. And so he said, "You know what? I'd like to put my investment back into DC."
Love him or hate him, Henry Cavill's a good actor, and he seems like a smart dude, and he was on a sinking ship, and he noticed
Absolutely.
that.
Of course. Why wouldn't you? It's almost like there was no plan set in place.
and then you have these fucking horror stories of like Ben Affleck was going to direct and star in a Batman movie that got canceled. That was going to have Joe Manganiello from from True Blood as Deathstroke. And he showed up as Deathstroke like in and after the credit scene once and then never again. The Batgirl movie that was going to have Brendan Fraser as Firefly got completely canceled recently by the like weird Warner Brothers Discovery merger. And it's just like
they've got so many cool things at DC too.
And we're just watching this. I don't know. It feels like watching a shipwreck. Not necessarily a train wreck. It's not all bad, but it's just like it's like I've just been watching them like fail, not even fail upwards, just like fail sideways for the last 10 years. And to bring it back to the actual news,
I like how you worded that because you're right. It's not that they've gotten increasingly worse. They've just petered at the same level for 10 years, and that's what 80s and 90s superhero movies looked like.
Right.
It was a superhero movie. And honestly, friends of mine who I'm showing the MCU now, they've stayed away because they were like, "I hated fucking Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That movie sucked." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but you haven't that's not my opinion." But
yeah.
they didn't like superhero movies because it was one, it was one-dimensional. It was one-dimensional. The genre was you have a superhero, they fight bad guy, end of superhero saves day, end of movie.
Yeah.
You might get 3 of them, and if you do, that's like, oh my god, do you believe how much depth they put into Spider-Man?
Yeah.
But
well, it's funny you bring up pre-MCU Marvel movies because that's what it feels like current DC movies are.
That's what I'm saying.
When I was
that's
watching
what I'm saying.
the whole time I was watching Wonder Woman 1984, I believe is what it's called, which I think is a shit movie. I don't like that movie. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, this feels like I'm watching Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Like this feels like an old movie. This feels like Wonder Woman 1984 almost felt like a parody of the superhero genre.
Yeah,
but one that took itself seriously. I don't know. It's a strange time.
You're absolutely right, and that's my point. Is I really liked the phrase that you used. They've just failed. What'd you say? Linearly, sideways. Because they've yet to evolve with the genre. The genre has evolved. It's almost like I was gonna put down Flash Gordon. I don't want to because that does have a cult following. But it's almost like Star Wars comes out and then you make Flash Gordon, which happened in real life, and it's like, bro, didn't you hear this genre has moved forward?
Right.
You didn't move forward. This genre has evolved, and you refuse to evolve, and that's why Star Wars is here. In your movies here,
right.
I'm removing Flash Gordon from my
analogy
because people do like Flash Gordon, and I don't want it to come off like Flash Gordon sucks. But you know what I mean, right? The sci-fi genre was a thing in the 60s and early 70s. Then Star Wars came out, and then it became something totally different.
No, exactly. I think that the DC movies I don't even know. Like, I can't even tell. Like, are they trying to emulate the MCU, or are they trying to purposefully not? Whatever they're doing is not working. And to bring it back to the actual story.
Yeah, sorry. I also wanted to.
Chris and I are excited tentatively because we can only hope that someone like James Gunn will attempt to fix this. And what I was saying last time we talked about this off stream is that as far as I can see, there's 3 options. The first option is he tries to fix whatever's happening there with the existing actors, and he kind of like the prequel trilogies, he picks and chooses what stays and what doesn't.
They pull a MCU with the Incredible Hulk movie. They're just like, it happened, we're gonna scoot away from it, but we'll do callbacks 10 years from now.
Yeah. And then the second option is James Gunn did make that Suicide Squad movie, so I feel like it wouldn't
have it all branch out of that,
which would be weird, right? Because Suicide Squad is like the Guardians of the Galaxy. If Iron Man 1 was Guardians of the Galaxy, not saying that the James Gunn movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, it wouldn't have the backing
it should have had.
Yeah, because it's not really a well-known I don't know, but neither was Iron Man. I don't know. Never mind. Anyways, the third option, which I think we both think is probably the most, would be the most successful, is just starting over and being like, there's no more from this point forward. Here's how we do it.
I agree. May I give you my? So I heard this news from you a few nights ago.
Yeah.
Could I give my
Oh yeah.
So I agree. Those are the 3 most probable options that come out of this. If I may say, hearing that James Gunn is taking the head seat of DC has raised my eyebrow for the first time probably since Man of Steel with DC. Man of Steel came out and I was like, oh, new Superman.
And then it tanked. and
since then I've just kind of I was a very out of the closet DC fan way back in the day.
Yeah.
And then they started doing this shit, and I just kind of like pulled the hat over my head, like, okay, we're gonna stop. And that was me until you introduced me to Marvel, and I was like, fuck you, Superman and Batman all the way. I know they suck, but like they didn't always suck. And then you showed me probably 4 Marvel movies in, I was like, and now I'm undeniably like they are a far superior franchise right now. But having James Gunn take the front seat does raise my eyebrow. It does get me excited for the first time. Like, I did see Suicide Squad, and I saw The Joker. The Joker's probably the best DC movie I've seen in this mess.
Having not seen all of them.
And having not seen all of them, I have a feeling that we would... I don't think there's anything in there that would knock it from the top right now.
Have you seen Shazam?
No.
That one's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
I hear people like Shazam. He's going to be at Rhode Island Comic-Con.
Yes.
But you already met him, but not for Shazam?
I didn't meet him, no.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
That's fair.
Also in the MCU.
Yes. I would, I'm going to be excited to see what he does. I'll be most excited. I will be all in. I'm going to, like, really invest myself in this DC universe. If they come out with, fuck all of it, we're starting over. And I'll say, fuck yeah, let's get it, let's do it, I'm here for it. If they say, okay, we're starting the direction away from what we had, but it's all still part of it, I'll probably watch them all. And, you know, I'll still be excited to see what happens. I would not be nearly as excited if I heard we're starting over, James Gunn is in the front seat. And isn't it funny how Disney just kind of fucking dropped him, picked him back up, and he was like, you know what, I'll finish your fucking Guardians of the Galaxy because I nailed it, and I know I nailed it. But after that, you know where I'm going?
Yeah.
I'm walking across the street.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell them, let me take charge. And I'm kind of excited for him to, because, you know, there's a small percentage of him that's like, fuck Marvel.
Well, that's the other thing. James Gunn.
Or fuck Disney, I should say.
And I know he's not. I know that him being CEO and chairperson doesn't mean he's going to direct every single movie, of course. But I will say this about James Gunn seemingly jumping ship. James Gunn is one of those directors like Tarantino, or he's just one of those directors where his movies are at their best when you let him do whatever he wants. And Marvel doesn't typically do that.
Yeah.
I was talking to you about how
again, I'll blame Disney.
I was watching a video on Red Letter Media about Black Widow, and I completely agree with what they were saying. You can clearly tell that Black Widow was at one point a like honest to goodness spy thriller that was like maybe more spy thrillery, maybe a little more violent, maybe a little more like interesting. And then Marvel came in and they were like, oh, actually make it like this. And then we just got kind of a just okay Black Widow movie, in my opinion. I will say that it's for me, my opinion on that movie. I know that some people like it a lot, and that's fine. But you can clearly tell like Marvel was like, no, make it like this. But that's not the case with Guardians of the Galaxy, which is rare for Marvel. You can definitely tell, like, you could tell it with Multiverse of Madness too. There's definitely a version of Multiverse of Madness that was way scarier, you know, and way more Sam Raimi. But it's just sort of like, you're above average in my opinion, but still run of the mill MCU movie that has like one spooky scene. Maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, you can only hope that they give him the same range. I know, like you said, he's not going to direct everything, but you can only hope that they. Who's they at this point? He is they.
Right. No, that's the thing. Yeah. He is they. He's in charge.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But. I don't know. I hope he does us justice for the Justice League.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my two biggest things, my two biggest like wish list items. I want a different actress to play Harley Quinn, and I want.
You're already getting that.
Am I?
Yeah.
Who's playing Harley Quinn?
Isn't it like Lady Gaga?
What? What are you talking about? I didn't hear about this.
Stefani or whatever. Yeah, somebody else is playing Harley Quinn.
In what?
I forget.
Oh, I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, look it up.
But I also want if they try to do another Justice League thing, fucking put the Green Lantern is missing. He is absent. Put him in the movie, please.
And here's the thing, right? Are you really worried about that Ryan Reynolds movie?
I'm not.
No, exactly. Nobody should be. Do him right.
I don't
do
give
him good.
a shit.
No, exactly. Just do him right. Nope. Green Lantern doesn't suck. They made a bad movie. Just put him back into something.
Him, and I will say this, him or her. There's many Green Lanterns.
Oh, sure.
It doesn't have to be. If you're truly like still upset about that Green Lantern movie you made, it doesn't have to be Hal Jordan.
Right. Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn and Joker too, right?
Okay, never mind. I don't care anymore. I just decided I don't care anymore.
Damn. Who do you want? You've already told us, right? You have a pick for Harley Quinn?
Okay. She's a little young, but I think the perfect actress for Harley Quinn is Daphne Keane, the girl who played X-23 in Logan, and she's the main character of His Dark Materials. She's very young right now.
I don't know her, but okay.
I think she's might have just turned 18, but if there was anyone on Earth who I think could fit the Harley Quinn role perfectly, as I see her translated from page to screen, it's Daphne Keane.
Interesting.
Because I really like her, and I'm really excited to see her in more stuff, because I think she's one of those child actors who's like very talented, but she's in like adult programming, you know? So she like kind of like Dakota Fanning was. So I'm curious to see where she goes from here.
If we had actors from 10, 15 years ago, but today, I would have put my hat in the ring for Emma Stone.
Emma Stone could play Harley Quinn.
She could still play Harley Quinn now, but I feel like a young, like, early 2000s.
Yeah, you're thinking like, Zombieland, Easy A, Emma Stone, not Birdman,
at least
Cruella,
to start.
Emma Stone.
And then you know, we get the Emma Stone today. Like I would have liked, because here's the thing. Here's why I'm not saying Emma Stone today. There's one reason, right? It's because I'm thinking big. It's because I'm thinking 10 years down the line, Emma Stone isn't playing Harley Quinn anymore.
Right.
That's why I'm saying I wish we had Emma Stone 10 years ago playing Harley Quinn, so that we could get that progression out of her of Harley.
Yeah.
See, you gotta think big.
Well, you have to think forward more than one movie,
right?
Which is not what DC has been doing. Anyways, that'll do it for our regular podcast. We're not going to do Goop because we talked for a long time,
as expected,
about the news. We're going to get into our movie and TV podcast here in a minute. So if you're here with us live on Twitch, don't go anywhere. That'll do it for this episode of the Thunder and Lightning podcast. There will be an episode next week. I've decided. Excuse me. So look out for that. Look out for everything else we do. And until next time, I've been Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
And we'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.